Hey, this is Tommy.
Hey Tommy, Steve Schwartz here. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. This is still a good time for you to speak?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for your enthusiasm. Thanks for getting back to me. And I'm excited to hear that you're interested in joining the masterclass.
Yeah, I'm so excited to join the master class. I feel like that's gonna be kind of not just one more resource because every resource is helpful to me in some way. But I think it'll have like an extra thing that I can add to my arsenal of stuff.
So let me ask you, what led you to consider joining the masterclass? What about it appeals to you?
Um, well, okay, that's a great question. I'm not sure if its mere existence is appealing specifically because there's so little out there that's not just a big like 500-page book. I think I remember you saying something about that online, and more or less they're all the same. The individual sort of attention is and the personal insight that comes from LSAT tutors I feel like is valuable, and to get it from a master class I feel is on par with getting it from somebody individually.
That's kind of what it's meant to replicate. Obviously, nothing perfectly mimics one-on-one interaction, but one of the unique things I'm doing with the masterclass is that I'm orienting it around the specific needs of the students in the class. So I have a general framework, but honestly, I'm just co-creating the curriculum with the students in the class. Each week, I solicit requests on what to include, and then during each class session, we cover exactly what the students asked for.
Okay, well that does make sense. And I filled out some stuff for you actually earlier today to be included on other things, and I know that you're probably looking for a specific type of person to kind of join in this. I suppose that kind of person is somebody who's far enough along to understand some of the finer details regarding maybe strategies and question explanations that deal with more nuanced and like less broadly applicable issues. Is that a fair assessment?
I would certainly say so. Yeah, I'm looking for highly motivated, self-driven students who are not starting off from complete scratch, although it's okay if they are. I'm looking for folks who are investing themselves in their prep enough so that they can maximize what they get out of the class with me.
Perfect. Well, as far as that goes, I feel like there's a lot to learn from like people, and everybody has a different experience. You and other students, and being a part of that, I'm super excited for that reason because like it's gonna be like these highly motivated students, and they're gonna be coming with all the different situations that they themselves face. Might not be something I think of off the bat. Might not be something I ever think of. So good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of the benefit you get is from the questions other students are asking because you may not have thought to ask them, you may not have known to ask them, and you may have different areas of strength and weakness, but it always helps to get another take on a particular question.
I agree. Um, yeah, so I heard reading comprehensions on Monday, actually, and it should work out like that. I just absolutely burnt out on logic games. I've been doing them for 2 weeks, and I've decided to stop hitting my head against the wall and move on to RC. So I feel like it's gonna be so great to like jump right in with something that I'm tackling next. Have at least a little bit of time to orient myself within the section, then like figure out where where to really minimize the mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think reading comp more than any other section, it is tough to perfect 100%. Typically, the average 170 scorer is getting perfect or maybe -1 on games, but then they are getting three wrong on each of the other sections. And obviously, we do want to minimize that, but it is something that we do want to minimize more than perfect, just because perfection on reading comp, more than any other section, I think is difficult to achieve. It has those ambiguities of language that games does not. But that being said, we will work on it as much as we possibly can. So I think you're coming in at the right time. And I wasn't sure whether I was going to reopen the doors to the master class, but I think that you strike me as someone highly motivated and driven, and you'll be able to watch the recordings of the previous classes to get caught up to speed.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, it's actually great that we're on Reading Comp. I just remembered that I kind of prepared actually a question for you regarding that. I got so excited I kind of glazed over actually your assessment of scoring on it. But part of my question would be what do you think of my approach? And then the next part would be, what is your experience with people who do end up getting to the point where they can get -1 or -2 or per section? I don't know if you want to go into that with me right now.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we do a quick take on it now, and then we can go into more depth during the class on Monday.
Sure. Okay. So I guess if I'm going to do both parts, let me just take you like brief 3 steps. I do a very skeletal summary as I go along. This is like 1 word per paragraph. I'll look at it and then I'll answer all the questions based on what I've read like really actively. One of the strategies I'd employ in practicing is, of course, getting to know each type of question really well and identifying exactly what it's asking for so I can find it better. And I guess my big question is, do you have like something that you'd like to add to like those kinds of steps as I'm kind of starting RC for the first time?
You have a skeletal framework of the passage, and then you have a step-by-step approach for each question.
Less step by step and more practicing identifying exactly what the question asks for. So agree and disagree questions, I suppose, are easier than maybe primary purpose questions where you have to identify like exactly why the writer is motivated to write something like that or something along that strain.
Okay, so we'll have to look into this a little bit more, because the primary purpose question and the main idea questions, those actually, you want those to be the easiest for yourself after having read the passage, because those are the most general, broad questions they could possibly ask you. So I think we want to actually reorient the approach a little bit so that you'll walk away from the passage knowing the primary purpose, knowing the main idea, and then the more inferential questions that come later could actually be a little bit tougher, and that's okay.
I see. So maybe instead of I wouldn't sharpen the contrast between the hard and easy questions as much as I will do in this next question. I'll make it short again. But as far as that's concerned, I suppose the inferential questions probably have, patterned answer choices, patterned questions that after enough repetition, you start to recognize that maybe I haven't gotten to that point yet, but that would be one of my primary goals before I take it in June.
Yeah, there certainly are patterns. I think there are especially patterns in the tempting wrong answer choices and the discouraging right answer choices. In reading comprehension, more than any other section, it is a matter of process of elimination, because you're rarely going to love the wording of the correct answer. So it's more about eliminating the wrong ones, and then whatever's left, even if you don't love it, you do have to pick it by process of elimination.
All right. Well, I think that's a great start. I'm not sure if I know that you've got a lot of people to call, though.
Yeah, but this was definitely helpful for me, Tommy, just to know where you're at going in for the master class on Monday. So I'm going to note the particular questions you raised about reading comp approach, and I'll incorporate them into Monday's class.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for calling me tonight.
Of course, Tommy, my pleasure. I'll send over everything to get you set up for the class, and I'll look forward to seeing you Monday.
Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. See you. Bye.